in what one could argue is a case of election interference, the platform X, formerly known as Twitter, has put a spam warning on an NPR story about Trump's controversial visit to Arlington National Cemetery. Now, the NPR report alleged a physical confrontation that took place between a Trump campaign staff member and a staff member at the cemetery who tried to stop campaign members from basically doing a photo op in violation of the law. So apparently there was two campaign staffers that allegedly berated and even shoved this person to the side. Now, federal law prohibits the use of military cemeteries for campaign events, and that's what this was. Okay, this was a campaign event. The campaign took a bunch of pictures, used that on social media to then attack Biden for pulling out of Afghanistan, which was a Trump idea that I gave him credit for because ultimately it was a good idea. And he was for pulling out before it actually happened, and then afterwards he's like, I am against pulling out of Afghanistan. Okay. Now, not only that, but the Trump campaign had made a TikTok video attacking the Biden-Harris administration for their pullout of Afghanistan, which again, they previously supported. So now, when you click on the NPR link, if you are on X and you click on the link, you are greeted with this. The link you are trying to access has been identified by X or our partners as being potentially spammy or unsafe in accordance with X's URL policy. Now, of course, you look under it, and there is a community note saying the link is safe. It is a link to an NPR story that is negative for Trump. It is unclear why X flagged this link as unsafe. Unclear? I don't know. It seems pretty clear to me. Just saying, it's negative for Trump. Okay, that's the reason that it's been blocked. This so-called free speech warrior in Elon Musk who, by the way, was so angry, so irritated by the New York Post's censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story that they launched the whole thing called the Twitter Files, is now apparently suppressing negative stories about Donald Trump. Any pretense of X being politically neutral has been completely shattered, gone. Or, we could say,
bing, 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 boom, it's gone.
It's gone. We know that Elon Musk bought this platform to boost Trump and to boost right-wingers in general. He has turned it into Parler, essentially. And again, that's all Elon Musk does is post and respond to and elevate right-wing voices. And it's because he's been infected by the woke mind virus, which makes you see everything as quote-unquote woke and then drives you insane. Insane enough to drop $44 billion on a website that is worth far less than that, push all your advertisers away, and then use it to, bring back Nazis and boost them. The worst people imaginable are now the ones that you see everywhere on the site promoted by their algorithms. So that's what he has done. Now, people had some thoughts about this. In fact, here's journalist Dave Troy writing, marking U.S. public broadcaster content as unsafe is a sort of revenge move the KGB had fantasized about for decades. And it tells you everything about Elon Musk and X actually are. CityLab editor Kristen Katz writes, Twitter/X is now running a warning that NPR story about Trump TikTok video at Arlington National Cemetery is a malicious link. I've never seen this once in the thousands of years I've spent on this site. And yeah, it does feel like we've been on there for a very, very long time, dear God. Kristen Vanderbook, an anti-Trump conservative, remarked that X's apparent decision to throttle the NPR story, quote, goes to show you how damaging it is to Donald Trump's campaign. And there is a reason for that. Again, using dead soldiers as a photo op, that is gross and also illegal. and look, they go in there and somebody is like, hey, you can't do the photographs, you can't make videos here. This is a sacred hallowed place. So we're going to have to enforce the rules, right? And when this person tried to enforce the rules, they got berated and physically assaulted, shoved aside. Like, nah, screw you. We're going to go make this ad. That's what we're going to do. Look, the only reason, by the way, that this cemetery worker did not press charges is because they feared retaliation from MAGA supporters. The Trump campaign says, oh, well, we've got a tape of the incident, right? Okay, well, if they do, if that tape actually exists, guess what? They threatened to release it, not to, push back on so-called defamatory claims, right? No, it's to threaten that, hey, we've got video of you, cemetery worker, and if we blast it out, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a target painted on your back. And then every unhinged MAGA chud is going to try to come after you, okay, online. And the last person the last thing that a person wants to deal with here is a bunch of death threats from crazy people, because that's what happens, all right? But we know it happened. The U.S. Army put out a statement on Thursday confirming that participants in the ceremony were, quote, made aware of federal laws regarding political activity at the cemetery and had yet abruptly pushed aside an employee of the cemetery in order to try to get that photo op. This incident, they said, was unfortunate, and it's also unfortunate that the ANC employee and her professionalism had been unfairly attacked. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, remember, we had Trump spokesperson Stephen Chung basically coming out and accusing this cemetery worker of being mentally ill. Quote, the fact is that a private photographer was permitted on the premises, and for whatever reason, an unnamed individual, clearly suffering from a mental health episode, decided to physically block members of President Trump's team during a very solemn ceremony. That's a quote from Trump's spokesperson. Another, Chris LaCivita, basically called this employee a disgrace. A disgrace for, actually trying to enforce the rules against political politicking at a cemetery. Again, this is how gross the Trump campaign is. This is what they're trying to do, okay? To get a cynical photo op from people who died defending, defending the country at the Kabul airport as people were getting pulled out, defending civilians, okay, that were leaving Afghanistan under fire, and saying, well, we're gonna hold this against the Biden administration and use it as a campaign talking point. Okay, these people's sacrifice in the line of duty, we're gonna use it as a cynical ploy to attack Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. No, that's not what this is for. Okay, not what this is for. The real disgrace is using those soldiers as a political prop, and everybody knows it. And that's why Elon Musk, who is desperate for a Trump win, is trying so hard to not only block the story, but to promote Trump in any way he can. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.